We're getting straight to it. We've got technical issues going on, but we're going to see if we can get this to work. I got my good homeboy in the house, D Calico, which is a real boxing knowledgeable man. I hope everybody's doing great. This is Rap Star Boxing Knowledge in the house, bringing that energy, loving that boxing. You know how we do it. We just love that boxing, bro. We can't stop. We've got now, I just want to say to everyone, I tried to make this show work earlier. We had technical issues, and I'm here for the take two, for the part two. So everybody who comes in, smash that like button. If you come into the channel, press the notification button. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel. All we do is talk about boxing, the boxing that we love, and respect the game that we love. And we've seen a great weekend this weekend. We've had a good, fun weekend in boxing. And we've had Mike Tyson and Roy Jones come back for a legacy charity fight. And everybody saw that this wasn't talk. It finally happened. You know what I mean? It happened. And we're here to talk about it. We're here to talk about Daniel Dubois and Jones Joyce. Somebody's O had to go. And Rap Star's here to talk about that too. So if you're in the building, smash that like button. If you're in the building, let it be known. Don't be shy. Even if you're a troll, come and represent and let us know you're in the chat. Anyway, D Calico, how you been? How was your Thanksgiving weekend, brother?
All is well. You know, peace to everybody. Who might be listening. And happy Thanksgiving to y'all.
Did you eat a lot of turkey, my brother? Was you guys eating a lot of turkey, mate?
Man, I fell asleep every time I ate, man.
There's a
You
lot of
know,
turkey that you guys eat in Thanksgiving from all my friends in
yeah,
America. You know, hey, I just want to say to all my friends in America, to all my boxing fraternities in America, salute to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys in the States, in the United States of America, man. Peace out. And I hope you guys had an amazing, amazing Thanksgiving. But, apart from the turkey, D Calico, man, how did you feel about Mike Tyson making his ring entrance after 15 fucking years, bro? 15 years, the man Mike Tyson wasn't just talking, bro. He made it in the ring.
man. I mean, it's definitely something new. You know what I mean? This ain't regular old boxing. Like this is. It's almost like a friendly fight. It just gives us a glimpse of what the greats could have been like. You know what I mean? So it was kind of entertaining. But of course it wasn't the spectacle that we dreamed of.
I mean, how can you expect that Tyson to come back after, the last time Tyson was as ferocious as the craziest, the baddest man on the planet? You're talking about nearly 30 years, 28 years to 26 years ago, bro.
Hey, I might be able to join this boxing league. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. My boy Mike Tyson. Hey, my boy Mike Tyson say he smoked marijuana right before his Roy Jones fight.
Yeah, he
So
did, bro. He
he
was
said he
smoking.
put the blunt down and went and fought Roy.
Yeah, he was smoking blunts before he went into the ring, bro. He was smoking that Kush. He was smoking that
Hmm.
OG Kush before he made it in that ring, bro.
Yep,
Yeah, that's
and
crazy,
that's
Mike.
why he was moving slow too. Hey,
Yeah,
that's wild.
yeah.
Like
I
like
just want to say something before you cook it, bro. I got a couple of people
yeah.
in the building, bro. Joe DC. Joe DC says that Rap Star is grinding, bro. He's working hard around the clock just to keep this content going because I've had a lot of technical issues, bro. But I'm still trying to keep that grind going, man. I got to keep making sure that people know that we're about this boxing. And Major Key Boxing is in the house. Major Key is a real one, man. Salute to Major Key. Go check out his channel. He's a man from the United States. The man's a real deal. Major Key, what you doing, bro? Come on to the chat if you're on the chat, bro. Come and share your views with us, man, of what you thought with the Mike Tyson and Roy Jones big fun card and the Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois Major Key. Let us know what you think. But yeah, D Calico, carry on, bro.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I mean, like we definitely need a new football league full of weed smokers too. You know what I mean? I'm just saying because it ain't wrong. He's not wrong, but I hope it didn't take anything away from him. You know, because I blamed it on his feet. I felt like his feet must be. I think he has bad feet because he looked good dipping and slipping punches and stuff, but he can't come get you. Like if you three steps away, Tyson can't come. And that's not something we used to seeing from him. So either the weed had him, like the days ago where he couldn't come get him, or he got bad feet. But other than that, Tyson looked like a phenom as far as his age and the way he still gets around. Yeah, he a phenom. But I think he has bad feet, but it could have been the marijuana.
I mean, I'm gonna say this right before I say what I want to say. I want to introduce this brother from another mother from the other side of the water. This is Major Key Boxing in the house. Please introduce yourself to the European
Hey,
channel
what's good, brother? How
and
you
let
doing, man?
everybody know what's up.
Yeah. No, I was watching yesterday, and man, look, I think Roy Jones was doing a lot of holding. For having so much ring rust, man. They both look good, but at the end of because Roy Jones left there sore. He said that when he was walking away. I forgot on whose channel. It was either ES News or Fight Hype. But one of them was following him, and he said, "Man, my jaw is sore, my ribs are sore." You know what I'm saying? Like he got touched. He got touched by Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson look at him being all humble, talking about, "Hey, you know what? I just commend the dude for hanging in there and taking those shots." You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
Mike is still a beast, man. Mike is still a beast.
yeah, but the timing was off, and so
Oh, of
the
course.
timing was
But I
off.
mean, of course, yeah. No, I don't disagree with you at all. That's why I prefaced everything by saying that it's been years since he fought. You know what I mean? Like, he went through a lot of different things in his life during that time. For him to even just dedicate himself to the sport like that again, that's a beautiful thing, And then the fact that he gave credit, like, hey, I'm glad that I lasted 12 rounds because I appreciate people fighting throughout the whole fight and lasting the whole fight because back in the days, that's not what he cared about. He cared about eating people's children and knocking people the hell out. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you
Yeah,
there?
let
Hey,
me come
hey,
back to
hey,
that, bro. I love Mike Tyson. I really appreciate Roy Jones, but the both of them look the shell of themselves. But what they did do is they put excitement in that ring at that age. And we have to be also appreciate what they're doing it for and where the money's going. But I just want to
Right.
cook on this. I've got loads of messages coming in, and I want to know what do you guys think about the Mike Tyson saying that he wants to keep fighting and this is just the beginning. I mean, you do realize when Mike's got something in his fucking head, he's gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at him, bro, because again, he's gonna shake off some ring rust. Next time he's gonna figure out, okay, if somebody tries to grab me like that, what do I do in that situation? He's gonna try to recall all those things from his youth, and right now, he wasn't able to apply that, but he was able to apply pressure to as far as if you see the snapshots that they have of him throwing the blows, dog, he was ripped and he was like really trying to hurt Roy Jones. He was trying to hurt him. It wasn't in his mind. It wasn't an exhibition. It was a fight. But Roy Jones did a great job of you know smothering Tyson's punches and keeping the distance, moving away from him and things like that, because Roy Jones was also an elite boxer himself. So it's not like like we're talking about like a prospect versus Mike Tyson. Nah, we're talking about Roy Jones, who was at the top of the game, just like Mike Tyson was. You know,
Put it like this. In my book, I would say Tyson is the best fighter in the last like 40 years. But god dang it, Roy Jones is the best boxer in the last 40 years. I mean that's saying
I
a
mean,
lot,
yeah,
but
I can't argue with that though. I mean, it's arguable, right? But I
yeah,
wouldn't even argue with it because that's a valid selection. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I mean. Like those are two names that you can't really like. You could argue with it, but it's a never ending argument because you would have valid points all the way around with them two. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, most definitely.
So you do realize that they want to fight again, and Tyson's going to get another event going. But to me, Roy Jones looked like he was happy to just call it a day in there, man, and Tyson looks like he was still motivated.
Yeah,
You see what I mean?
yeah.
And Tyson wants
I
an
think Tyson
opponent.
wants I think Tyson wants 3 minute rounds.
Yeah, but
You
who should
know,
we match Tyson up
because
with? I mean, should it be Evander Holyfield, David Tua?
I want
Should
Shannon
we?
Briggs. I want Shannon Briggs because Shannon Briggs be talking mad shit.
But
yeah,
Shannon Briggs,
Let's
that's
go,
true.
Shannon Briggs
Stan.
has been way
Let's go,
more
Stan.
active.
I mean, hey, I'm gonna tell you because Antonio Tarver said he wanted the winner. Antonio Tarver said he wanted the winner of the Tyson and Roy Jones fight. Well, I would really, since Evander wanted some of that fight and Tarver wanted some of that fight, I would like to see Tarver versus Evander Holyfield.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to see that. I mean, I'm not mad at that. The only thing is that you see Shannon Briggs, he's such a great promoter. He
Yeah,
already did a self promo video today, and he was saying, yeah, that was a great exhibition. He was kind of like making fun of them. Yeah, they did great jobs. That was a great exhibition. But you see me, I fight for real. You know, that's what he was talking about, and he was showing his muscles and all that. You know how Shannon Briggs is, man. You know, I had the the opportunity to meet him because my boy in Miami was promoting him when he was doing his comeback, and then I was working for a security company that was in the club where he was doing the after party. So I had like two different ways of getting into VIP, and I met him. My boy introduced me to him, and I was like, oh shit, like damn, Shannon Briggs, and he was hyped up, like always, like he's the same dude whether he's on camera or off camera.
Hey, Major Key, we just got to give a shout out to Joe DC, bigging up the whole panel. He says big up to Major Key, big up to D Calico, and big up to Rapstar. World Combat just came on the show and said big up to everybody. You know what I mean? So,
Definitely. Shout out
hey,
to
so I
World
just want to
Combat.
ask you
Shout
this.
out
I
to
want to ask everybody this. Coming from England, we don't know much about the basketball, but I did some research, and it seems like Nate Jones was a very great athlete. But
Nate Robinson.
now, what is showing celebrities that they should not go into boxing because Nate Jones looked pretty bad yesterday in that ring. How do you guys feel about that?
Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson.
Sorry, Nate Robinson. I don't even know the guy's name. I keep calling him the old boxer.
Yeah,
Remember the old boxer,
yeah.
Nate Jones, right?
hey,
Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson. How do you feel about Nate Robinson being in the ring where he looked like he shouldn't have been in that ring? How do you feel about that?
Like Ryan Garcia said, man, you can't play boxing, bro. And World Combat, shout out to him. Like I said, he actually did a video earlier, and he was explaining that it's not about the fact that you can't transition from one sport to another. He was a dude that was not gifted with height, but was gifted with flight. You know what I mean? And he was able to do amazing things. With the fact that he didn't even have the height to really be in the NBA like that. You know. But,
yeah, Nate Robinson it seems like he was a great athlete, but it seems like he wasn't composed in the fight. He didn't understand.
He didn't get the proper training. He didn't get the proper.
And it looked like he wasn't sparring.
Yeah. He like running towards him, like like he didn't have a goal when he ran towards him. Like he didn't know what he was gonna do when he got there. You know what I'm saying? Like those
Hey,
type of things. You know,
before I critique Nate Robinson, I gotta be the one to say that was a dirty hit. You know what I'm saying? In the first round.
we're talking about behind the head.
You know that
The behind the head. Yeah.
yeah, that was a dirty hit, and the guy, now I can say that, the guy couldn't throw a good two piece. You feel me? Like it was nothing accurate about his delivery. The best thing he had was energy, but that got depleted with the back of the head shot. You know, once he got face planted like that, and the referee didn't even respect that and called it a knockdown. Like, it knocked all the fight out of him.
But
So
what it was though, it was the way afterwards, after that first round and second round, how he kept charging this Jake Paul, the way he kept running to him with no defense, it kind of was really off. It just, I know that he was
I
a
mean,
great
he
athlete,
wasn't doing
but being in
he
boxing,
wasn't doing it. He wasn't doing it right. But
no,
let's
he
be
wasn't
honest, that's
doing
what
none
we
of
want
that
to.
shit right, bro.
No, but let's be honest, that's what we want to see. We wish a fighter sometimes would go out there and run up on the other guy. Like only guy did it was Mike Tyson. Deontay Wilder, when he gets pissed off, he'll come out like that. But guys don't really do it,
Yeah,
and
but
that's
it
what we
just goes
really
to
want to
show you,
see.
Major Key and D Calico, that even the 55-year-old boxers showed you that they understand boxing and how to, be able to stay away from each other and be composed to get your shots off, or at least be able to get away from the shots. With this Nate Jones guy, as an athlete, I know the celebrities are fighting nowadays, and I've seen it on YouTube. But really, man, he had a really, really wrong game plan. It's like he didn't spar, he didn't train for the fight. He just relied on his pure athlete of what he is as an athlete and what he
It
brings to the table in the NBA.
it yeah.
It just didn't make
It
sense to
definitely
me,
looked like
Major Key.
Yeah.
it
No.
definitely looked like he never
1,000%.
spoke
And
smart.
I agree. I actually agree with what y'all saying. Like 1,000%. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I was saying earlier. He was running in with no game plan. Like you don't just rush somebody and then stand in front of them when you rush them. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta catch them. You know what I mean? Like if you gonna run up to somebody's face like that, I don't know where they do that at. You know what I'm saying? But if you run up to somebody's face like that, you know what I mean? You better have a plan.
Hey, he ran up to Jake Paul's face like that more than 3 times, kept charging him with his no defense.
Yeah.
Mad.
Hey,
That was mad.
hey, like being honest, like obviously J. Paul has a lot more training, and like you said, it really seems like Nate Robinson has never even sparred, and if he did, like what they saw in the ring made them want to fight him. Like, hey, like I would love to fight you. You know what I mean? So I don't know what made him do that, but
No, and I
yeah,
admit I was one of the dudes that thought Nate Robinson was going to win by knockout because he had a previous boxing experience. So I'm looking like, yo, this YouTube dude trying to fight this dude. Yeah, not only is he an athlete, but he also has fought before professionally. So I'm thinking like, Nate Robinson got this in the bag. But then when you look at it, it's like holy shit, like because other people started training him, Jake Paul. Other people started training him because they want their hand in the cookie jar. They're like, oh shit, like he actually is getting sponsored by people, and then they're bringing him on to live events. Shit, I'm gonna make that bag too. So
like one thing I can say is like Paul wasn't really swinging accurately either. You know what I mean? To be a boxer, it seemed like
he
another
wouldn't
boxer.
survive.
I seemed like another boxer would have got rid of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he wouldn't survive against like legitimate boxers. He wouldn't survive, but he
Yeah.
did take advantage of that situation. And you can't get mad at him for that. You know what I mean? Because he did what he had to do.
Like the guy who lost to Badu Jack would have like probably killed him. You know what I mean? He probably would have killed him.
Oh yeah, that Blake dude.
Yeah, that big McKinnon or something like that.
Yeah, Blake
The
Buchanan or something like that.
yeah.
Look, I'm going to be
Yeah.
honest, right? Looking from the outside in, I'm glad nobody was injured. I'm glad Nate Robinson was able to make home to his family and he was well. They just don't need to play boxing. And what they've showed over there, Major Key and D Calico, is that you can't fucking play boxing. You can play any other sport, but you can't play boxing, bro.
That's facts, man.
And Lisa's in the house, Major Key. Lisa just gave everyone a big shout. And, big
Lisa,
shout to Lisa Bells, bro.
the queen of the YTBC. Shout out to Lisa.
Hey, she's a very knowledgeable lady, D Calico. If you're ever coming across the YTBC, Lisa is a very knowledgeable lady in the game. So, Lisa, you come on the chat, man. Let yourself known be to the European channel, to all the people in Europe, in England, all over us, man. Come and say hello, Lisa, if you're in the chat. But yo, Major Key.
Peace to the goddess. Peace to the goddess.
Yeah, man, she good, bro. But listen, D Calico and Major Key, I gotta say this to you, bro. Tyson seems like he really wants another fight soon. Do you guys think this is good for Tyson? No head guards, 12 ounce gloves. I mean, are you guys support? I mean, I'm supporting Tyson, but part of me was not happy with him in the ring yesterday. That's my
My
own
man,
personal thing.
to each his own, man. Tyson is a beast. He needs to get that off his chest. You know what I mean? He needs to get it off. He's gonna retire when he feels like retiring. You know what I mean? He feels like certain things didn't go right, and then he had a long time to reflect. You know what I'm saying? And he's feeling humble. He's changed a lot of his perspectives. The man is always gonna be. I know he talks funny, but when he talks, he's thinking deep, man. The dude is always thinking deep. You know what I mean? He's thinking at a high level, whether he sounds like it or not. But the dude thinks at a high level, and you can see it. You can see it because his mind is what's operating his body. You see what I'm saying? That's high level shit. His mind is what's operating his body, and his body, the way he operates it, you know what I mean, it is high class shit. You know.
Okay, well, let's bring Lisa into the chat before we move to the next subject. Lisa, how you doing this weekend, this Thanksgiving weekend?
I'm great. How's everybody doing?
Salute, Miss Bells. How are you?
We're good. How you doing, sis?
I'm good. What's up, Major Key? What's the other brother's name?
D Calico.
D Calico.
D Calico. Hey.
Hey, Lisa, I need to get your view because we've got so many messages coming through, and I want to get your view on Mike Tyson, Roy Jones, and then after that, the Nate Robinson versus Jake Paul. But please touch on the Mike Tyson, Roy Jones. A lot of people got mixed emotions and mixed feelings.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a decisive win, but I noticed that Chad Dawson was voting for Roy Jones. So he had him in most of the rounds. So either way, it was good to see the two legends get in there and mix it up. And they both, hey, I mean, they're not what they used to be, but it was good to see them getting in there and putting this event together. And this is something that's going to continue to go on with the legends, coming together and bringing events together. So I like it. I really like it, and it's a charitable event. As long as the elder fighters, if they can pass their checkup or whatever, they're gonna have to see a doctor or whatever. They would have to be cleared. But who I would never want to see in the ring is and I love him dearly, is Riddick Bowe.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, he's already punched Drunk already.
Yeah. Even Holyfield to a degree, but Holyfield keeps himself in shape.
I pray Riddick Bowe doesn't even think about it.
And you know what? It's sad because I've seen some videos on Riddick. Riddick is broke right now, and it's sad to see that. But I also heard that this thing goes to a bunch of different charities, and some of those charities they'll put money in the pot for boxers that are either struggling or past boxers, So I like that. Or maybe a boxer that was in the ring, and like maybe like a Pritchard Cologne or something.
You got Michael
God
Nunn.
bless him.
Michael Nunn just come out of prison not long ago. Lisa, he likes to fight.
Yeah, I saw him. He just had a fight not long ago.
Yeah, I mean, but
You
let me
know.
ask you these mixed emotion feelings that I'm getting from the boxing world. I want to ask you. I know you like to support him, so do so many people. But having no head guard, 12-ounce gloves, people think that they were a little bit. You saw it yesterday yourself. The timing was out. Some of the footwork wasn't there, but they did an amazing job. They didn't look bad like some of the people think that they did. But that's because
Right.
we remember them as such extraordinary fighters and legends in the game that some people are not used to seeing this version of Roy Jones and Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I mean, people are. I mean, I'm realistic at the end of the day. I'm also nostalgic. I can go back in the past and look at a lot of the old fights, and I do. But at the same time, I realize that, but, now that I'm getting older, I understand because sometimes I have to pinch myself and say, like some kids that I know, like, man, they got that big. And then I'm saying to myself, I'm not realizing that I've gotten older. So, so I knew that I didn't expect them to, you know, um, look like that. But then some of those fight hype clips that they had of Mike Tyson, Mike was looking like a beast from almost from back in the day. But they know how to do those videos in a way. And I'm not saying that he isn't. Both guys, respect to both guys, both were respect to everybody yesterday.
Okay, so I appreciate that from you, and I know you don't want to see. One thing I've noticed from you, you don't want to say anything negative towards this event. You are so, and I think you appreciate what they've done for the charity and everything. But what would you be your next three opponents? Because Tyson said on his post fight, because D Calico can play it, that he is fighting next, and y'all better get him an opponent. So should it be Evander Holyfield, David Tua? Who else we got? Antonio Tarver wants to fight now. Who should Tyson
Oh
fight next?
wow.
And
What about
after
Shannon?
Lisa, I'm going to go to Major Key and then D Calico. Give me three opponents that Tyson might be able to fight next. Or maybe the chat can help us. What three opponents could Tyson fight next?
Yeah, I mean, I could
Shannon,
give you.
go
Oh, my
ahead.
bad. No, because actually I was just trying to chime off because I just got home from like a 9 hour drive. But yo, I can give you three names real quick. I like I agree with Lisa. No Riddick Bowe. He's already punch drunk as it is. Like I leave him alone. You know what I mean? But Shannon Briggs, Evander Holyfield, maybe a rematch with Roy Jones or even Tarver, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
Okay, Major Key. Well, thanks for stopping by, bro. And
No doubt. I had to
we
show you some
appreciate
love, bro.
you rolling through, bro.
All right, Major Key.
All right, yeah. Have a great night.
You too. Peace.
Easy.
Yeah, yo, Lisa. So we go to you, and then we go to our brother there, D. Give me a couple of opponents that Tyson maybe should match up with because he's not going to stop. He's going to continue doing this.
Wow. Shannon Briggs, definitely, because he always looking for a fight. Shannon and Cannon, they both from Brooklyn, you know. Who else? Let me think.
Yeah, have
What
a
about
think.
Lennox? What about Lennox Lewis?
I don't
Well,
know
I
if
don't know.
Lennox Lewis. I mean, if he wants to do this for charity, that would be really good. I think there's people even mentioned Frank Bruno. Do you remember Frank Bruno?
Yeah,
You
of
remember him?
course.
Yeah, Frank
Yeah.
Bruno from London.
One of my most vivid memories of Frank is when Nigel Ben and Gerald McClellan, that fight. And remember, Frank, every time Nigel did something that was explosive, Frank just jumped up with the suit on and was screaming and yelling, had his hands up in the air. Remember?
Yeah, facts. I remember that. And Frank Bruno used to have an orange suit on. Remember?
Yeah.
like a bright red or orange he'd wear, so he could stand out. But yeah, Frank Bruno been keeping himself in shape in England. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
You might see these kind of charity fights, and you never know. Like a Tim Witherspoon, remember him?
Yeah.
These guys
Yeah, he gave
of
he gave Larry Holmes a tough fight.
yeah, Tim Witherspoon, Bone Crusher Smith, all these old school guys. But look, man, I don't know, man. I'm so happy Tyson is keeping the happy helping the charities. I don't want no one to get hurt. Roy Jones for me never looked that great, and Tyson for me was a shell of himself. But one thing I will tell you is I'm happy to support it. And D Calico, bro, before we move to the next subject, bro, who would you like to see Tyson fight next? Because he's not going to stop. He said he's going to keep on fighting.
Like I was saying, see, for me, I feel like a lot of people want to keep the same like trilogies and like foes against one another. Like I feel like all of those people that probably want a piece of Roy Jones, they need to go fight Tyson. You know what I mean? Like Tarver, like Bernard Hopkins. You know what I mean? Uh, and I mean, and maybe a Vander fight Roy. You know what I mean? Like something like that would be cool too, because it'll take the true aggression out of it and make it a sport.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of people answering this as asking these questions that Lisa never came to. Was that do you know about the Nate Jones and Jake Paul fight, Lisa, by any chance?
Yeah.
And a lot of people sending messages to me saying that basketball player shouldn't have been in the ring. It was very, very bad the way that he was fighting in there. And it's just what it is because people look outside the box as him as a great athlete. And some athletes, boxing's not a game. How did you feel about that fight?
Um, he definitely didn't have any experience. You could tell it was real minimal. So he didn't have any fundamentals or anything. And I just hope he's okay. Because I know boxing is not a joke. Um, it's a dangerous sport. And I mean, Jake Paul is still a novice himself, but he has a little more experience.
Nate
And
Robinson.
I mean, not Nate Robinson, Logan Paul's brother. What's his name?
Jake Paul. Yeah, Jake
Jake
Paul.
Paul. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Jake Paul. Jake Paul. I mean, he's still a novice, but he's been training with some professionals for the last few years. So he's learned some things. Just because you're a great athlete don't mean you're great in all sports. You
Facts.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could be an amazing athlete, but doesn't mean that you could train for 6 months and fight a novice boxer. Because boxing is a very, very underrated sport. You need to have some sparring. You need to know what it's like to be punched in the face quite a
Yeah.
lot of times, so you're not shocked to it. You get used to things like this once you start training and get yourself in that atmosphere and being a lot more like Jake Paul. Even though he is a very novice, he still had some fights, some sparring, maybe let's say 50, 40 times more than even a Nate Robinson. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just went to show the immaturity of an extreme athlete, a mature athlete, which was great at what he does, but looks very immature in a boxing ring. And a lot of people say the celebrities, before you come into the boxing ring, please make sure you got the right management, the right trainer, the right sparring, and it at least gives you an ability so that you don't get hurt in that fight for charity or whatever you're doing. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it looked really bad. Lisa, I was gonna play it. Hey, Calico, you want to play the knockout?
Is there any updates on his condition?
He's okay.
Anybody?
He got himself home the same day. He was on ES News. No, ESN. What's that guy's name? Ellie Setback. He had a little video of him in the hotel, waving to him, saying he was good, and going back to his room.
I saw the statement that Floyd Mayweather made about Nate, and
Okay.
he was a little he said he's gonna lift his brother up, and he was kind of saddened how people was making memes about him
Yeah.
and
Yeah, because
making
it's
fun
his.
of him and
Yeah,
huh.
because he knows him. It's his friend.
Right. And he said, we have to uplift each other and not tear each other down. And
Mhm.
he got in that ring and so he was a little bit saddened by that, but I felt the statement that he put out.
D, have you
He's
got
like,
it
man.
on the computer?
Yeah.
Okay, let's just show people why the celebrities should just take time out and you're gonna do something like this. Please don't do it with like it's a
Oh
game. You gotta take this thing religiously, bro.
no,
Wait,
I actually had I actually had the post fight with Mike Tyson.
okay, you wanna play that audio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on.
Mike Tyson reminded me the old him. Do you see him laughing?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
He was laughing.
Well, I don't know. I'm just I'm happy I'm not knocked out or anything. So I'll say I'll be better than the next one.
That's it?
No, hold on. You can't hear the question.
It's my mentality, but my trainers and my sparring partners kicked my ass so bad, and I'll never call a fighter a bum again. I took my youth for granted, and then this actual event made me find out what I really was made out of, because they really beat me to death.
Yeah, been asked a question. When you get asked a question, you can't really hear.
I could have done everything better. Everything I was doing, I could have done better. So, God willing, I'll be better than next on exhibition.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up.
He was very smart and very difficult to hit him with a solid punch. And if I did catch him with a good punch, he played possum really well. He didn't let me know I heard him anything. I was just happy to be in there with him and just go to 8 rounds. That didn't mean nothing to me. The scorecard didn't mean nothing to me. The lack of fans didn't make anything of it. I was just happy to go to distance because I was used to doing it with the 3-minute round. So I said, why not just go to distance? Everybody know I can knock somebody out. If I did, I think going to distance, that's real fighting. Having the endurance and going the distance. You're not going to knock everybody out. I've learned that in my early experience. Yeah.
Okay. Is he still going on?
I don't know. Maybe we do something in south of France, Monaco, or Saint-Tropez. We do something out there. One of the European fighters out there or something. Anything's possible. Sky's the limit. I believe we broke all the records on pay-per-view concerning boxing. We did really kick butt on there. But I just want to continue to do this from a humanitarian perspective. Thank you so kindly.
He's a different man altogether.
Well, I'll do it in the next one then.
To go to the next one.
Yeah, see, he's a different man now. This
Absolutely.
Tyson.
I wanted to go to distance. It's all about going.
What'd you say, brother?
I said this is a different Tyson, man. He's doing this he's really motivated about the charity thing. And did you see what he first said? I didn't get knocked out, at least. In other words, he's just doing what he wants to do, which is motivating him. You can't knock him for that. And it just seems like Tyson's in a good place in his own way. But I don't want to see the man hurt and continuously trying to fight, because he was calling out Lisa. He says he wants to do Anthony Joshua or Wilder as a charity too, and I don't think that's a good idea at all for anyone.
Nah, not those young guys. Yeah.
So we don't want Tyson to be so motivated where the management and the people start to make, I don't want to see this get stupid. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But look, man, it's been amazing to know that Tyson actually did it. Because first we thought it was just all talk and a myth. It happened. It was like a concert. Rappers were in the game more than the boxers. The rappers were taking just as more time as the boxers were. But it was nice to see Snoop Dogg come in the game. And I don't know how the refs and the judges were going to call it a draw anyway, whatever happened. But it was just a good event. I think it'll be a historic event. At the end, they'll always remember that Tyson and Roy Jones did this for charity. So, you know, I mean, you can't knock them for that, bro. But a lot of people have
It's
mixed
off up here.
emotions. There's somebody in the back right now. Wait, let me see who this is. Yeah, so moving on to this next event, yeah, I want you guys to join me in England after that. And I know that Lisa has definitely got something to say about this fight. And I definitely know that Lisa was very tuned in onto this fight because she spoke very freely on many platforms about this fight. And your wish came true, Lisa. Joe Joyce stopped Daniel Dubois. And this is a big, big thing right now here today. So please
Yeah.
tell us what you
I
feel
you,
about that fight.
you know what? It was a great fight. I wanted Joyce to win for his mom, but I didn't want I didn't want Dubois' eye socket to get broken. That's pretty, you know, like at the same time, I just wanted him to, maybe get him with some body shots and blacken his eye or something. But I didn't want that, because that's a young man. I wouldn't want that for anybody. But I know boxing is a dangerous sport. But he just kept peppering that face, and then he couldn't see out of that eye. He was just like, I was like, whoa.
He was
But
doing well in that fight too, though, Lisa. A lot of people had him, some of the judges had him up, and I had him up. He was winning the early on in the fights with some heavy shots, but some of the judges had him up too.
yeah, but it depends. Some of them were swing rounds. Like
Very true.
the first round, Joyce kind of established that jab. He was pushing that jab out, and he was putting in body work too. But they both had their moments. Dubois was putting it on Joyce at times, but Joyce got a beard, man. They don't call him the Juggernaut for nothing.
He had
What
a
up,
granite chin.
panel?
He had a granite chin. I want to introduce Carlo in a minute. Carlo's in the house. What up, Carlo?
Hey, Carlo.
Rapstar, Lisa, what's up, guys? Yeah, I kind of agree with Lisa here. Like, there's a certain point when the eye is like that's bad for their health, right? It was a good fight. It was a good fight. I was cheering and I was really happy. The fight was really good. It was better fight than Daniel Jacobs and Rosado. I can tell you that much.
Oh God.
Um,
I wish I could
uh,
never forget about that fight.
Rapstar, did you had any idea that the fight would be like that?
No, we were a lot of people were a little bit because I told everybody on the live fight that the eye's getting really bad after the seventh round. I told everybody now that the eye's getting bad, but a lot of people believe that where Dubois was still had the some power shots in some of the rounds, and some of the rounds were swing. He was still in the fight very much. Some people had him up in the fight, and I'm just gonna let people know, boxing fans are toxic. I'm gonna send maybe some videos tomorrow. Some of the newspapers have got Daniel Dubois quitting. They said he quit in the fight because his eye was hurting, and he couldn't knock. He felt like his power shots wasn't hurting Joe Joyce anymore. And as a lot of
No,
people realized that Daniel Dubois relied on power, whereas Joe Joyce relied on his experience and his good understanding of the ring and the knowledge and maturity. So, what do you feel
Hmm.
about that, Carlo? A lot of people said he quit.
no, he didn't quit. He's a fighter, man. You can tell he was still in the game. He was still fighting. He still had the power to stop an opponent, and quitting doesn't seem like it's him. You know what I mean? Throughout his career, he doesn't seem like he's a quitter. Like that's why he got his where he is now because he didn't quit. Like I don't understand how people think he quit. Like he's a fighter, right? Rap, so you agree with me when a fighter gets stopped in the ring, quitting is not in their mindset, right? It's about fighting through the pain,
Yeah, I
fighting
mean
through the
that
fight.
I was bugging him, and Frank Warren said that the truth is his eye was in the next round. They were going to put the fight off if he couldn't have done anything in that round. They were telling him because his eye was no longer, he couldn't see out of that eye anymore. But you have to appreciate this. They have been talking about Daniel Dubois like he's the best thing ever coming out of England after Anthony Joshua. And that's the way that
Oh,
they've been
he is.
promoting him. And Frank Warren has been promoting him that he can beat the best heavyweight soon. So it kind of took a backfire on him. And now people are saying, well, you know what? We have to see him even establish himself, even against people like Derek Chisora, and take a couple of steps back. Because the guy, and a lot of people are showing him hate. You know how boxing is. They're going to show you
Yeah.
hate because he took a knee and he didn't get up after the 10th. He got up right on number 10. As soon as the man said 10, the ref said 10, he got up.
See, this is I don't understand this. Like boxers when they're in the ring and they're fighting already, mentally they're in the game. Physically, they might not be there, right? So it's not intention for him to like take a knee, and he like that's how the fight ended, right? But they're not meant to quit. Fighters are not meant to quit when it comes, especially in boxing. We
Yeah.
have the saying, we don't play boxing, right? We all know that. So
Yeah.
like I don't understand how boxing fans think, oh, one certain fighter quits because of this. Do they even understand how the fighting game works when you get hit like that, or when you're in a
But
zone like
professional
that? You don't.
fighters are calling him a quitter. You know how professional fighters are. Some of them have fought with broken jaws. Some of them have fought with broken eye sockets. But Carlo, please stay with me right now
Yeah.
because I want your views on the next view, thing we're going to talk about. Lisa and D Calico, I want to know what you're saying because there's a lot of people saying that he quit. Now, because he couldn't see, did you see any quit in Daniel Dubois? Did you see any quit?
Go ahead, D.
I mean, I, I didn't watch it live, so I didn't just want to watch the highlights and make no judgment. You feel me? I really want to see the whole entire fight. You know,
Yeah.
place judge.
You didn't watch the fight from the first round to the time to the time when Daniel Dubois got stopped.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
cause like the Terrence Crawford fight, we saw exactly that. You know what I mean? Now if he went out like that, then it's open and shut case. But I heard I know the only thing was crazy about that fight. What they say was the ref raised the wrong hand at first. I guess the ring guy called the wrong guy to win him, and then he said, "Oh, it's he had to change up his announcement."
okay, we get to Lisa on that, and then we're gonna go to a new brother on the chat. World Combat Sports is in the house, so let's get to Lisa. Lisa, what do you say about that, man? Some people are saying that they saw quit in the man. That even though he couldn't see out one eye, he was, he was, he showed quit in that fight. So, what do you say to some of the boxing press and some of the boxers who have made statements like that?
Oh, screw people. You know why? I feel like this. For the people that say that, let them get in the ring, get their eye busted up, and see what they do. Everybody has a different threshold for pain. Some people can fight through that. I don't know, but I'll say this. Um, it kind of reminded me of Kell Brook when he took that knee. And when you get your eye socket broken, they take your eye out, out of the socket or whatever and put that titanium plate over it. Come on. I look at it like this. It's not about sometimes people have to not worry about what other people think and have to do what's best for them in that moment. So he's a young man. Hopefully he'll be able to heal up get his mind right and come back stronger than ever. And he's gonna take a lot of heat. People are cruel. This is gonna follow him for the rest of his career because people don't forget.
But you understand that side of boxing then. So you do.
I
So at
I
one
I
point you get it. So you
understand it,
get
but
it.
I don't agree with it
So you don't have to agree,
because
but you get it though that this is what happens when people are very cruel in boxing. They're very toxic. You know this.
people are cruel. Period. I mean, so you have to have, that type of self worth, self esteem. That fuck what people say or fuck what people think. You know, and
Yeah.
still hold your head high.
All right. Well, let's go to World Combat. What up, World Combat?
What's going on, Rep Star? Everybody else on the panel, Lisa and everybody. How y'all
Hey,
doing?
what's up, World Combat?
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, World
Good.
Combat. Right now we're at this stage where Daniel Dubois, he lost the fight. He was a favorite with the bookies. I mean, how do you feel about that, man? That some people say that they saw maybe a little bit of quit in this man.
Well, I say he surrendered. I
So
don't know
do
if he
you
quit.
say
His eye
that he
was.
surrendered?
I just, I just think surrender is a softer term than saying he quit because his eye was messed up pretty bad. So, in order for him to live to fight another day and don't ruin his career, I think it was smart of him to take a knee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Did
a
you see
smart
that
way to
fluid
think
come
about
out?
it.
World Combat. Did you see the fluid come out of his eye?
No, I didn't see that. When did that happen?
And right before they stopped the fight, no, right before he took the knee, it was like some
Mm,
kind of fluid came out, and it reminded me of Kell Brook in the Spence fight. It was
mm-hmm.
like when he hit him, and he made that funny, like, with
Yeah,
his eye
funny
and
facial
took that
expression.
knee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it reminded me of the same thing. It was like a fluid came out of his eye. So it's like a pain that something, it's a threshold of pain.
Hey,
Obviously, he was like, I never felt
hey,
this before. I better stop.
hey, sister, that's called tears. I'm just saying. Now you know what I mean. For real
Oh
though.
wow.
Hey, that's
Oh
what happened.
God.
It's automatic.
Hey, I gotta say this, man. Daniel Dubois, you gotta appreciate. He's 23 years old. He took the test. The guy, he knew Joe Joyce was a bit more experienced. We knew Joe Joyce bring a lot more knowledge to the table. He had very good composure in that ring. Even when Daniel Dubois was, going for power shots, it's like that's what he was relying on. He was relying on his power too much. He got disheartened in that fight a bit. How many fighters can rebuild from that and learn from that? You see what I mean? I mean, they're writing him
Yeah.
off right now. They're being cruel to him a little bit. Some of the boxing, even Carl Frampton, the Carl Froches, and all these boxers out there in England, they've been like, man, this guy quit, And even the trainers, like some trainers have come forward, and it's
Yeah.
just a bad way that Daniel Dubois was looked upon, the next Anthony Joshua. Do you think they put too much pressure on this young fighter?
Well, I think that Frank Warren put him, like, uh they were putting him up there, like, and don't get me wrong, the kid was steamrolling through everybody, but he hadn't really had the level of competition. Because remember, Joe Joyce is an Olympian. Um, he's fought Brian Jennings, Stavern, so he had some better, people on his resume. So I knew that this kid wasn't gonna be in for nothing for an easy night, you know.
Right. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's going to be hard at the moment. It's going to be some negative press. I'd like to go to D Calico about this situation now. Who should Daniel Dubois fight to rebuild? And who should Joe Joyce's kind of opponent should we be looking at, as the man ain't got much time and they're fast tracking him now? So let's go to you, D. You know the fighters, right, in England? Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois. Who should we get for Joe Joyce, bro?
I mean, I'm open to find out who you know. Wasn't he trying to like get rematch with the
What's that?
fight before, but
I couldn't hear you, bro.
no. I mean, I'm not big on Dubois at all. Like, I didn't even watch the last fight.
Okay, okay. So let me just tell you this then. There's a few opponents out there that we're talking about. A Joseph Parker, Hergovich, even a Andy Ruiz for Joe Joyce. I mean, there's names out there, bro. But let's go to World Combat because I know he watches these fighters in and out. And I know that he's on these fighters across the world. How you feel, World Combat? What should be the fight for Joe Joyce? Where should we be looking?
Yeah, I like those names. You just mentioned Philippe Herkovic, Joseph Parker, and out of those names, Andy Ruiz. That would be a good matchup for Joe Joyce. If it's not Olasana Usyk. You know, um,
Mhm.
I know they're trying to get Olasana Usyk in there with Joshua for the mandatory WBO, but with him out the equation, I would say Andy Ruiz. I think Andy
Mhm.
Ruiz will push the pace for Joe Joyce to be forced to respond and put him in a fight like he was with Daniel Dubois. He might have made Daniel Dubois surrender, but when it comes down to it,
Hmm.
um, he was still pushing the pace.
That's
He
right.
was still doing what he had to do. So
Yeah.
I want to see a different style of opponent next time, and that Andy Ruiz. He's definitely going to push the pace on Joe Joyce, and let's see how that works out.
Okay, so World Combat don't mind those names that I pulled out. Also, I would ask, what about what do you think about Daniel Dubois, Derek Chisora? Do you think Derek Chisora's a good rebuild fight for Daniel Dubois? Okay, let's go to Lisa. Now, Lisa, we got Jed Cole came into the place and he said, I want to salute my sister Lisa, respect to rap star. And
Hey, Jet.
we got PED came into the place. PED's in the place right now. Joe
Hey,
GC's in the
PD.
place. And we've got Shady A Amini. I hope that's how you pronounce his name, Shady Amini. Yeah, man, we got
Hey,
people just
Shady Amity.
yeah, they just came into the place right now. And yeah, like I said, man, how do you feel about Joe Joyce's next opponent? I mean, can you match up some good opponents for this man, Joe Joyce? Because he wants to be on a fast track. They already told the
Yeah.
winner that by the end of 2021, beginning of the 2022, they'll be in line for one of the titles, or at least be in position. So what would be a
Okay.
fast track for them, sis?
Uh, I like what World Combat said. Andy Ruiz or Joseph Parker because they both have fast hands. Joseph Parker is real elusive, so that would be interesting too. Andy Ruiz is a pressure fighter. He's got fast hands too, so that'll be pretty interesting. See how he would adapt to that. And who else? Let me think. Uh, who else? Oh yeah, you got Hergovich.
Got
That'd be a
Hergovich,
good one.
Joseph Parker, Andy Ruiz sounds like a good name for a good fight with Joe Joyce. I mean,
Yeah,
there is a like World Combat did say, look, Usyk beat Joe Joyce in the amateurs, right? And this is a very
yeah,
intriguing fight to have in the professionals right now. Because there's I don't know about you guys, but us in Europe, we didn't think Usyk looked that great stepping up in the heavyweight scene. We didn't see it. We thought he was okay, but he wasn't that great. And and Derek Chisora is he's the gateway man there. He's the gatekeeper there, right? And
yeah,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, how? Okay, let me ask you this. You guys know your boxing. If it goes into a fight next year, Usyk against Joe Joyce, give me a prediction on that. We can go to World Combat first and come back to you. And I'm going to go to D Calico. I don't know, D Calico. I want you to talk about this fight as well. It's like you ain't watching these guys, bro, but they go fight.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, no, hey, no. See, what I was just gonna say about it, the whole thing is what I found strange ever since the night they fought. there's been no footage. Like I find that strange, you know, because I
Can't
feel
get
like we were
footage.
in the
You
80s
can't get footage on the fight on YouTube.
anywhere. Nope,
It's on
Huh?
the zone.
none.
That's a bit weird,
Yeah, you
man.
can't find. Yeah, so I
It's
feel
on the
like
zone.
what for one, they don't like how we dissect these videos and see what might be right or might be wrong, and they scared to put the footage out there. You ask me, because because I mean, like prior to this fight, I thought Daniel Dubois was like the type that could fight, you know, Deontay Wilder. You feel me? I thought he had that frame and everything. But whatever the heck happened to him in that ring, boy, it wasn't nice. It wasn't nothing nice. And they not showing it, put it like that. So, you
That's a
know, I
shame that
mean,
you guys are not getting a lot of footage about Joe Joyce and Daniel Dubois, man. Because we're getting a lot of footage of where we are, and I don't
yeah,
understand what's going on about that. I mean,
they blocking it over here.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, look,
See, Dor
go ahead, Lisa.
Frank Warren could have did a spin job. Dubois is good, but like I said earlier, don't get me wrong, he's good, but he hasn't fought. Uh, he hasn't been in there yet with any real good names like that, other than Kevin. What's his name? That was a good gatekeeper. I forgot his name. Kevin. You know what I'm talking about. And Larte and
Kevin
Gorman or
Johnson.
whatever.
What was his name?
Kevin.
Kevin, not Kevin Johnson, right?
Yeah, yeah, he fought him.
Yeah.
Like I said, he doesn't have the pedigree that Joyce have. So like I said, he's looking like he's steamrolling. He's steamrolling through people, but it's who he's steamrolling through. See, when your level of competition goes up, you know, then when you're in a real fight, it changes. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I appreciate that, but boxing, even Frank Warren, right? He was hyping up Dubois like he's the best thing ever coming out of England after Joshua, right? And Fury. And there was a lot of pressure on that fighter. But
Yeah,
Joe Joyce got told his stock has gone up overnight now. You see
right,
what I mean? Joe Joyce is now the heavyweight that they're talking about. And some of the people writ him off because of his age. Some of the people
right,
didn't realize that this man brings so much to the table that because of his maturity and his experience, they thought he would get tangled in against the power of Daniel Dubois. But he actually, I'll tell you something. If there was a little bit of a storm in there or a little bit of rain, he actually did really well to get away from it. I mean, he didn't get away. He took some good shots, but he took them with his chin. He didn't go nowhere. He wasn't really hurt in that.
yeah. Well, you know, he's always been the underdog. Nobody really appreciated him. Nobody, the spotlight wasn't really on him. He earned this. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody was paying attention to him. And they both were Frank Warren fighters, but you could tell that Frank was, Danny had been with him longer, so he in the upside he has more. He can make more money off of Danny because Danny is young, you know. So
The good thing
you
about
know
it,
how the game is, huh?
the good thing about it, he has a huge landscape ahead of him in boxing. He's only 23 years old, so he can recover from this as long
Yeah,
as he don't face the same results again. You know, he go on a 3-fight win streak. He steps up, get a big name, and he goes down again. He needs to rise from here on out. He took his first loss early. Still 23. He has plenty of time to start working that ladder again for a title shot.
right. The same
I
thing
mean,
happened
so
with Yard. Well,
you guys
the
got a
same
couple
thing
of good
happened with
opponents.
Yard, remember?
Hmm.
Yeah, Yard, Anthony Yard.
Yeah.
Hey, rap stop.
Yeah.
Hey, do you remember Glenn Johnson?
Of course, I remember the Jamaican bomb like Glenn
Yeah,
Johnson.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. He a
yeah.
bad man, you
How would
know.
you?
He a bad,
Yeah,
bad man.
how would you like him versus Tyson?
Holy
Or
shit, is he
or
thinking of coming out to do a charity fight?
no, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying because he's always been like very underrated, but he's beating the
Mm,
best.
Yeah,
yeah.
okay,
You
but
know,
let's go to that at the moment because it seems like we need to match up some of these celebrity fights, right? And look, I'm just gonna say this, like World Combat said, and like Lisa said, don't give Daniel Dubois too much of a hard time before we get to this. Is that Daniel Dubois can come back from this? He's not 33, he's 20 fucking 3. This could be the best thing that could have ever happened to him in boxing. This could be it. And this is the time that he might be able to regroup and come back and try and get himself into a position. And he might be way more better in himself and just understanding that what he needs to do and not just rely on his power. He'll be a way more mature fighter. And I think he's got one or two more great chances to come back into the game. So we can't write him off like they're doing. A lot of the press is writing him off, but that's how boxing is. After one loss, they think you're the worst thing. But when you haven't lost, they think you're the best thing. You know what I mean? So it is what it is
Yeah.
in boxing. It is what it is. But look, let's move to the next thing. What celebrity matchups do we need to see then? I mean, let's go to you, Calico, because I know you wanted to go to this. What celebrity matchups are you looking for in this Tyson new banner of Thriller? And did this do great pay-per-view numbers like they're telling me that they have? Does anyone know if the pay-per-view numbers were great?
I
World
Oh, I
mean,
don't
Combat?
know.
you ask me when you say BLM had something to do with anything. I I just feel like it's major donations and all this stuff came in. You know what I mean? Because it was the BLM belt and everything. Like the belt they made for for those elders and make it so bad
Yeah,
you
the
can tell they
WBC made these Black Lives Matters belt.
yeah, and you can tell they planned this like in advance because they had two belts prepared for a tie.
Yeah.
Both of them got a belt.
Yeah, so you
You
already
know,
know that this was all Vegas won at the end of the day.
this, this was Gucci Man versus Jeezy.
If somebody's
Yeah.
telling me on the chat that it broke big numbers on pay-per-view, does anyone have any things or do I need to check online? What's the pay-per-view numbers for this event? What is it? Does anyone know? World Combat, you done any homework on this, bro? Okay. No pay-per-view numbers yet. Okay. Well, there's some people are giving reports that the pay-per-view numbers were big. But they had that YouTube sensation, Jake Paul, in there too, and he's got a big following himself. So it seems like, he must have rang a lot of numbers into the table himself, for sure. But D Calico, what fights you want to see, bro?
Uh,
You want Glenn Johnson? You want Evander Holyfield?
mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. I mean, like, be honest with you, that'd probably be like the old fight of the century, seeing somebody like Evander with a Glenn Johnson, you know, and I don't want to see, like two scary fighters go at it. Two guys that are gonna backpedal. I don't want to see that, and it's not even really fun watching one guy backpedal.
Would you
So
like
that's
to
why I
see
said
James
Glenn.
Toney? James Toney again? Would y'all like to see James Toney?
No,
No.
Because he's a bit punch drunk.
Mm-hmm.
no. His body, like he's out of shape. Horrible. Like,
What about Julio Cesar Chavez Sr.?
Yeah, he did an event not long ago, and he looked good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looked good. Oscar De La Hoya is looking to come out of retirement, and maybe he'll do some event. You got David Tua.
I heard
Dang, David Tua still out
I
there?
heard he want to fight Triple G.
Who does?
Who, David Tua?
Oscar De La Hoya?
Oscar. Yeah.
I think he needs to stay away from Triple G now, man. Oscar De La Hoya old now, bro. Oscar De La Hoya
Yeah.
about 40, 47.
He just want
Yeah,
to
that's
talk.
crazy.
Yeah, he can't be fighting no Triple G, bro. Nah,
Yeah.
man. Oscar De La Hoya needs to stay back, and he needs to fight people like, oh man, you know what? God bless him. What was his name? He passed away, bro. It would have been good. Macho Camacho, remember?
Or
Yeah.
Mayorga.
Yeah,
Somebody like Mayorga.
yeah. I just
Where's
remember
Mayorga?
Macho Camacho, and then I realized he passed away. Innit? He died. And no, but
He
Oscar De
did
La,
fight Camacho when they was young, remember?
yeah, that's what I mean. But if they're gonna come back, they need to do. If they're gonna do events like Tyson did, and Oscar De La Hoya wants to come back and he wants to do some events, I'd tell him to do events with Tito Trinidad or bring, the guys out which were around his era. You know what I mean? Or get Mayorga back out. Mayorga makes a lot of
Yeah.
fucking noise, and
Yeah,
he's.
Mayorga was just in rehab, yeah.
Oh, he was.
Not long ago, yeah.
Okay, then they can help him out maybe to get out of rehab or something. I don't know, man, but I think these fighters need to stop promoting that they want to fight the young guys. These fighters need to stop promoting that they want to fight the guys which are relevant. Like Tyson needs to stop promoting that he wants a charity fight with Wilder and Joshua and Fury, and start promoting these things because it's not good.
Right.
It's just not
Wait a
good.
minute. Somebody said on the PEG said I heard it broke the Mayweather McGregor pay-per-view period record. What?
Nah, I mean, how can it break those kind of records? I need to see that in
No.
facts.
Yeah, that's impossible.
I need to see that in facts. I mean, I don't know what pay-per-view it could have done. I mean, you guys paid $50. We paid £20 over here in England. You paid $50 over there. So I know it was a big, big thing because the YouTube circuit, the numbers which came out yesterday were 20 folds more than what they normally come out. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So the people which were looking around for the Tyson and Roy Jones fight was in thousands more than it would have been on a normal weekend of boxing.
Well, maybe it did about 1.5 million.
What about Shannon Briggs and Bernard Hopkins?
B Hop
Shannon
is a
Briggs and Bernard
light
Hopkins.
heavyweight,
Jesus Christ.
but B Hop still keep himself in shape. He not that big.
Mm-hmm. He gonna run around.
I mean,
Yeah.
B-Hop is in
he'll fight.
shape, but I've never seen B-Hop fight in heavyweight.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, he's not. Oh, I'm saying. So the last time him and Roy fought, at what weight was that?
They was at light heavyweight.
Yeah.
Oh,
B Hop ended his
okay.
career at light heavyweight 175, but he's always been a disciplined guy. He's never really out of shape. Even when you see him now at the
Yeah.
DAZN fights, he's still in shape. He's not like, he looks good.
Yeah.
Hey, look, man, there's some messages coming in right now. I want everybody to know about these messages. Let's see what they're saying right now. It's Joe DC says Briggs snaps B-Hop. He thinks that he snaps B-Hop, bro. And PED says, I hope they don't fight any young fighters. I don't want to see nobody get hurt or something like that. You know what I mean? Lance
Right.
in the house. What up, Lance? What you saying, bro? We're grinding out here in the morning, man. Just talking about the fights on the weekend, bro. Hey, man. Yeah, man, listen, there's a lot of celebrity fights that they can match up. Definitely with this new brand that Tyson's putting together. I definitely think that they can even use head guards if some of them don't want to do what they did this weekend. But again, right, there's only limited fighters who'll be able to get themselves in shape to even do what Tyson and Roy Jones did, Lisa.
Right.
I mean, what they did, it might not have looked the best, but that's not easy to do 8 rounds. at their age.
I agree.
You know what I mean? That's not easy thing to do, bro. But I think D Calico, man, at the end of the day, man, I mean, it seems to me this is the trend that they're going to build up. And because of this COVID and pandemic, you're going to see a lot more events like that. And you're going to see these kind of events because Tyson has started this kind of a brand up for others to come out and start doing this. And you already know that Evander Holyfield, Antonio Tarver's already training. This is bringing out all those guys over 55, 50, even up to 60, bro. So, D
Wow.
Calico, are you ready to go in the ring?
Mm.
Oh, shit, man. Uh, this is crazy, man. And I think at the end of the day, we've had a great event. It was a great event. It was a fun event, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. It was a fun event, man. Because they had the rappers coming out. They had Snoop Dogg coming out. I mean, it was what it was. They made a great event out of it. But you know, Badu Jack, we forgot about Badu Jack. Badu Jack beat that boy up into the body. You know what I mean? He
Oh
beat that
yeah.
boy.
True. That's the case. They need to bring Marquez out of retirement.
Yeah, they do. Hey, man. Hey, D. I mean, at the end of the day, do you want to see more events like this, D?
Yeah, but they got to pick better musicians. You know what I mean? You know, like they started it off with Wiz and ended it with Snoop, but the musicians in between was so lackluster. It was like, it paled in comparison. But
Right.
having Snoop on the side, like talking like that was that was classic.
Yeah. But you know what? They probably, they had a different type of audience from all different age groups. So, you got the Jake Paul, um, and all of that. That's a younger, demographic. And you know, uh Roy Jones and Tyson era, you know, they had people for that. So I guess they was trying to do it like that maybe to appeal to a wide demographic.
Yeah, I think if it's a success and you're gonna find out the numbers, and if it did multi millions and it did a lot of money, you're gonna see people coming out of their houses fighting for fucking this events.
Right.
I guarantee you.
I
Mike
wonder if you could
Tyson's
get
already
Sugar Ray
calling.
Leonard out of retirement. Nah,
I mean,
Sugar's
Sugar Ray
passed.
Leonard was there, right? Sugar Ray Leonard was there yesterday.
Yeah, but I'm saying I wonder if you could get him. Nah, he's too old now.
Yeah, and I don't want to see fighters like you said that who sound like they don't need to be there anymore. Like the Riddick Bows, James Toney, Hitman Hearns. You don't want to see all that anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Tommy Hearns definitely no. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't understand some of the words some of them saying now, and it's not good to see them in the ring. But Tyson seems really up for it. Tyson seems really happy to do this, man. He did 8 rounds comfortably. I mean, you can say what you want, but he was continuously trying to get Roy to the body. Roy was trying to hold him. Roy was trying to, move out the way. Roy tried to jab
Right.
and move. And then Roy tried to, Roy was doing a lot of holding, but Tyson was still coming forward, trying to give some body shots. Tyson was the aggressor for me. How about you, D?
Oh yeah, for sure, sure. Like like that's why he was grabbing. I mean, he made sure I'm gonna grab you for 60 seconds, and I'm a run in box for 60. You know,
I
that's why I
I don't
say
blame
it.
him. He ain't no real heavyweight.
Yeah, and he didn't train. He didn't train.
You could
You
tell.
feel? Not at all. So he's not
Yeah.
gonna do this again.
No.
If he does it again, I don't even know. I don't think he'll do it again because if he does it again, it'll be against Tyson, and I don't think he want to do that again.
So Joe
You know.
DC said Oliver McCall has made notice that he wants smoke with Mike Tyson. Now you see what's going to happen? People like Oliver McCall's going to come out.
Oliver McCall. Oh my
Hassim,
God.
remember Hassim Rahman or something? That was his name, right? Hasim Rahman.
And,
He gonna
Yeah.
come. He gonna come out. Then you're gonna get brothers like, well, who else we gonna get? Who else we gonna get coming
and
out from back in the day, bro? I don't want to see Larry Holmes coming out 65, 67.
see what people
What's
don't
his
realize
next
is,
fight
hey,
again? Chris Bird.
Yeah, Chris Bird look in good shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put a foot on
it's
himself.
almost it's almost like in comparison to how some people could see you drunk at the club and they might want to fight. You know what I mean? But if you were sober, they wouldn't want to fight. So people like vultures. They feel like Tyson ain't this or ain't that, and they want some of that all of a sudden. But when they were seeing, the vintage Mike, they were like tucking their tails. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
to be brave now is not manly. You feel me? It's not
Yeah,
manly.
I don't think it's a good idea. Some people think support the event. Mike Tyson said that he's glad he didn't get knocked out. So it seems to me, you know what I mean? Why not other people fight on Mike Tyson's event and then Mike Tyson have another fight later? You see what I'm saying?
People want the bag. They want that money.
Okay. And this is gonna maybe make loads of money. And if people find out the numbers, they're gonna come out.
Well, didn't they say him and $10 million, whatever? They see that ching ching.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna come out. It's simple as that. They're just gonna
But I
come out.
don't know if some of those people may not get the money that Roy got. But I'm just saying.
I mean, if they're gonna pay them 10 million, none of these fighters had got 10 million ever in their past. So let's say if they can get five, some of them never even got 5 million ever in their past. You know what I mean?
Right.
So even if they go from 3 to 5 million, a lot of fighters would fight. D Calico's thinking of coming back to fight, aren't you, D?
What did you say? I'm coming back to
I
fight.
said you were even before you were told me earlier that if they paid you that kind of money, you would be wanting to fight.
I mean, like, see, back in the days, especially at a young, I was so young, when somebody would be like, would you fight Mike Tyson for that money? It was like, it's not something you really want to do. But now, knowing that you could do the Roy Jones, you feel me? You like, man, I go get that $1 million. You know what I mean? For real.
Yeah, facts. But you know what? It was a great weekend. We've had a good little boxing weekend. We saw the heavyweight. Somebody's had to go in England. It happened. Joe Joyce is victorious. Joe Joyce going to make great movements now for 2021. And in Tyson has just shown us that these events can be successful. I think that's the main thing. Tyson has shown everyone that if he can do this and make it successful, a lot of people are going to be motivated and they are going to come out. But I just want to touch on this last subject before, Rapstar, takes a break and does his thing later. I just want to know what you guys feeling about this weekend. It's the fight that we want to see. It's the fight that's coming on. You know what it is. Errol Spence, Danny Garcia. We're all hyped up over here, all the way down in Europe and England. I hope you guys are hyped up. I know you guys are. So what you saying, man? Errol Spence, Danny Garcia a week. We're gonna see the last press conference. We're gonna see the weigh-in. We're gonna see the face-to-face. We're finally gonna see Danny Garcia and Errol Spence get in that ring, man. There's been out there. Errol went through a huge controversy with the car crash and everything, and he says it himself. He's glad to be alive. Let's go with Lisa, man. It's the biggest week, and then we come with D Calico after you, Lisa. It's the biggest week for everyone in Texas, especially. How you feeling, Lisa?
I'm good. Like, who do you think? Uh, what do you think? Who do I think is gonna win?
I mean, it's a big fight for everyone in America, right?
Uh, yeah, I guess so. I haven't heard a whole lot about it, but I'm not in the Texas region. But I mean, I've been hearing it. I've been hearing more about the Tyson thing, but yeah, I've been seeing like stuff on it. You know, I haven't seen like I haven't been checking out Fox lately, so maybe I haven't been keeping up with the promotions on it. But yeah, it's a pretty big fight. I know it'll do really well, and a lot of people, you know, we want, you know, Spence to come back, stronger than ever.
So
But it's gonna be an interesting fight, huh?
who you got? Who you got, Lisa, in this fight?
It's hard to say because I don't know what Earl looks like, but I I don't think they would just put Earl in there, if he's not at least 95 or better. So um Earl has a boxing he can box also because when I saw the Mikey Garcia fight with him, he was doing things that I never saw him do. So he does have a he can box, slip and move, be elusive. So he can also do that, you know. So it depends on the game plan or whatever. Uh, Danny Garcia has never been stopped, and he has a granite chin, so it's gonna be interesting. But Earl is faster. Danny is slow, and he's a counter puncher, so it's like you got to bring the fight to Danny, kind of, sorta. He's got to fight at the right range too, Earl. But Earl could get him just with keep jabbing him. You know what I mean? Got a longer reach.
So
See,
you're not
see
predicting a winner
Earl.
for the you're not
See Earl.
predicting a winner for the channel?
I I don't know. I'm predicting. I'm assuming I'm gonna go with Earl for a unanimous decision because I don't know what he looks like. I don't know how he's gonna take a punch. You know what I'm saying? If it's a variable, it's an unknown.
You've seen how he looks in training. He looks like, I mean, you've seen his videos and out there, right? Recently.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of that. I haven't seen anything.
Oh, you
See, I
haven't?
don't really watch the training like that. I should. I never watch for boxers training. I should start.
You definitely should. I mean, it's a great way to see where they are, how they are mentally. Um, so okay, so Lisa doesn't have a prediction. She said it's probably going to be a unanimous decision, Errol Spence.
I,
Or
I just I have to pick UD based on a variable, a unknown,
okay,
because I don't know what he's gonna look like. I can only speculate. I know he has boxing skills as far as being elusive, slipping and moving. He tucks his chin in so he doesn't keep his chin up. He's an aggressive, come forward fighter. He's a body snatcher. He uses his jab real well. And he is faster than Danny. And Danny's a good counter puncher, and Danny has good boxing skills as well. But Danny has slow feet. Danny's not a fast starter.
right.
Hey,
So
hey,
I mean,
I'm gonna be honest
go
to
ahead.
like make it as simple as possible as I can. But I'm gonna be honest, like if not for this accident, and let's hope hopefully he's completely over it, because other than the idea of this accident and his recovery, there's no way Danny's gonna win. There's no way. Like
Right.
if he's the real Aerosmith, Danny don't want this. He don't want this. This is gonna be his worst nightmare if Errol Spence is Errol Spence. Period.
Right.
I mean, let me ask you this though.
Danny's never been stopped by anybody. I have to put
Yeah, I
that.
was just gonna say that. I was just
He's
Lisa
never
just took
been
that out of
stopped
my
by
mouth.
I
anybody.
respect him.
I
I
don't
respect him.
know.
But
Now, I don't know how he's gonna. I see. I never seen him really beat up to the body, so that's a variable. But I do know if you clip his chin, he pretty much stands. because Keith Thurman hit him with something real hard in the first round at the end, and he stood up. Most fighters would have went down.
I,
So we
I,
shall
I
see.
respect I respect all those aspects about Danny. Like you say, number one, his chin. You know, I'm not sure he's as strong as people say he is, but what he is, being that he's such a good counterpuncher, he uses his power at the right time. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But but it's not devastating. You know what I mean? It's not. He's not gonna hit punch. Knock a guy out that I can really think of. Not to say he hasn't done it in his career, but he's not. It's not. His track record isn't really decorated when he fights those big names. That's where he gets his losses. You feel me? And I feel like I said, the real Errol Spence would have beaten all those guys. He's nearly beaten all those guys that he's had problems with. So, Danny's
Let me ask
banking
you this
on
though,
that.
D.
That
I need to ask you this. When the real Errol Spence was just a little bit off track, just a little bit, but he was very focused when he was in training camps, but just a tiny bit with the fame, a few bits of the clubs and the drink, and then he got off that and he was training hard for the Sean Porter fight. That real Errol Spence didn't totally dominate Sean Porter. Now, if the Errol Spence
he,
you're
yeah, yeah,
talking about, no, let me just talk. The Errol Spence that you're talking about is that hungry dude, which was a different Errol Spence who came with, he had this thing in his mind that he just wanted to be something special. And the way that he took the belt off of Kelbrook and the way that he composed himself and the hunger that he had about him, the truth. Remember the truth? If that Errol Spence is coming back with no fancy cars in his mind and don't give a shit about anything to come back for legacy, then I believe that he beats Danny Garcia. But I don't see him. I don't know how he stops Danny Garcia. I've never seen Danny Garcia get stopped and I've seen Keith Thurman hit Danny Garcia that many fighters would have definitely in the welterweight would have got stopped. But Danny Garcia's got a granite chin.
I feel like Danny, number one, had better hands than all of those guys. You know what I mean? Like I expected him to get dropped each time. I expected Sean Porter to drop him. I expected you know Keith Thurman to drop him, but like we said, none of that ever happened. But they don't really have hands. They don't. They're not on the level of an Errol Spence or a Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? That they can make him like pay, like time and time again, time and time again, like really apply pressure. You feel me? Just boxing. You feel me? Just
Now,
pure
one thing.
boxing.
Go ahead. I was gonna say. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're right. I want to hear.
Um, what's his name? Keith Thurman is not a real pressure fighter. He's real unorthodox, I would say. But he got some crack. He probably in his day probably was the heaviest hitter. I'm not sure about now. But he was unorthodox and his legs was really good. And he used to hit people at weird angles. So he's not a but Keith is that's not that Keith right. This Keith now is not that Keith now. How am I gonna say? The Keith today is not the Keith of in the past, you know what I'm saying? So he's not really necessarily textbook fundamental. He do really weird things, but it worked for him at that time. Like he would get out of, you know, situations real good and hit you at a crazy angle. Like even when he caught the mouthpiece that time, he just does stuff. He's awkward,
I mean, you got
but
to understand, like what Joe DC said. Danny Garcia got a good jab too. I know he got a shorter arm, but he has got a good jab. And
this
I had to put that there. He got
this is
shorter
Errol
arm.
Spence.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
But look,
hey,
Danny. I'll
Errol
tell you
Spence
what
is like
Danny
a wireless
Garcia is,
veteran.
D Calico. Let me tell you. Let Rapstar just say this. He's not great at one thing, but he's just good all round. But he's not great
Yeah.
at any maybe one thing, but he's good all round fighter. You see what I'm saying? And
Hey, but
and
but but watch this.
he knows how to take a man in the fight in the later rounds. You realize with Danny Garcia, people don't slip because if you push him and pressure him too much, he got the power to hurt you. So you got to
But
know how
but
to
but
either
it's
break him down or you got to break him down. And what you're saying is Errol Spence, the old Errol Spence, the one which was the truth, who come out of Texas. All I know is when I first see this guy, bro, this guy had a different kind of hunger about him. Yeah, if that Errol Spence is coming back, D Calico, he's he beats Danny Garcia for sure.
hey, I'm saying just sticking to just pure boxing. Is Errol Spence good at everything, or is he very good at everything? I'm just saying.
I'll let Lisa go first, then I'll go.
Um,
Or is he not even
I
good
would
at everything?
say I would say he's good at everything as far as he's not doesn't have a lot of head movement. So I would say good.
Mhm.
Very good. I can't put him like a very good would be like a welterweight would be like Mayweather. Um Terrence Crawford if he had more defense would be very good, but he's good. But the way he dismantles people is very he's him and Earl have that mean streak in them and they seek and destroy types. But they have different styles,
What
you know.
what I really mean is he elite? Is Errol Spence elite?
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's elite, but I don't put him on that Mayweather like that's why when you said good or very good, that's what I thought you meant.
I
Yeah.
think Errol Spence is special, but when you're talking about a different class fighter like a Mayweather or an 8-time world champion kind of fighter, then we got to think about that because Errol is special. We know this. But what
Yeah.
we got to recognize about Errol as well is that when he's been put into fights where he was the boogeyman before, some of the fights lately, he's been able to show that he can go to 12 rounds and he ain't stopping people like he used to anymore. And some of the fights, like the Sean Porter fight, how many rounds did you give Sean Porter, Lisa, in that fight?
Uh I don't know. It was pretty close fight, 7-5 or
Yeah.
draw. It was pretty close. I mean, you could, but the knockdown kind of made the difference. But I'm not like one who counted punches or anything like that. But I'll just say this: I don't think Sean Porter is a easy fight for anybody. His style is just it doesn't make anybody look. It's just his style just makes he's tough. He's gritty. He's tough.
Look, this is where
And,
Spence
and,
gets his
and even
tiny bit
Earl
of
said,
credit.
he didn't. Earl said, I don't think at that time Earl was. I don't know what space he was in, but I mean, he fought. That was a really good fight. It was very competitive, and but what's his name is he's tough.
So if I turn around and said to you that Errol Spence, a lot of boxing world said that he should have stopped 135-pound Mikey Garcia, who has fought at 140 but really was a 135er, and then came up to 147 to fight Errol Spence. Some people said that he should have stopped him, and some people say that when Errol Spence the boogeyman came out is when he couldn't stop Sean Porter, and Sean Porter was winning rounds, and he looked like he was, at some of the rounds he was a bit more active. So, I mean, I can put that question to D Calico. D, do you think those performances have kind of took the boogeyman away from Errol Spence Jr.? Because he was the boogeyman at one time. You can go and check all the videos in 2018. And if you look at 2018 and 19, early 19, they were still saying he was the boogie. I mean, no, sorry, before the Sean Porter fight even. They were saying
No. Let's be honest. The Sean Porter fight took nothing away. It was only thing that ever it has is the car accident. You know what I mean? like, like that was the fight of the year. You know what I mean? Like that was a fight for the ages. That was Sean Porter's greatest fight, and he lost. So just because it was his greatest fight doesn't mean it was a lackluster performance by Errol Spence. Errol Spence outperformed Sean Porter's greatest performance. You feel me? Like the way Sean Porter brought it that night, it seemed like he tries that a lot, but it looked better that night.
Okay,
You
you know
what
what the problem is? Remember Errol Spence when he used to be man down? Do you remember man down? Do you remember when Errol Spence was coming up telling everybody man down?
Mm-hmm.
Errol Spence started to change his game a bit, and there was no man down after Mikey Garcia, Sean Porter. So I just want to come to this conversation with you. How do you see that man down with Danny Garcia? When that Errol Spence, before the car crash, wasn't doing man down at the end of the welterweight, like he was beating them. I'm not saying he didn't beat. He won every round against Mikey Garcia. He won nearly every round. I think he did win every round. But when you're talking about man down, he didn't do that with Sean Porter. So what makes you say that he do it with Danny Garcia, bro?
I mean, like you say, he didn't need. I don't think he knocked Mikey Garcia down, did he?
No, he didn't. He did knock Mikey Garcia down.
So it's not necessarily expected for him to knock down such a strong chin like Danny.
So how do you expect him to beat Danny? You said that he's gonna destroy Danny. You said that this is gonna be the worst fight for Danny Garcia.
No.
Where did you go, bro? Are you there, Lisa?
Yeah.
Anyway, did we lose D?
No, he's still talking. I think he on mute.
I can't hear him.
I see the thing moving. I think he on mute. He don't realize it.
Okay, but you see what I'm saying? Well, let him come back to the brother. You see what I'm saying? I said I haven't seen that man down guy the way he's saying that he's gonna destroy Danny Garcia, right? He said that Errol Spence is gonna be his worst nightmare in this fight. It'll be the worst loss of his career. What I'm saying is, the man down Errol Spence, he didn't do that with Mikey. He didn't do that with Sean. Do you expect him to do that with Danny?
I told you before. Remember I said before. I said the variable is the unknown. I didn't see the sparring tapes. I'm going for the unanimous decision, and that's only based on the accident because I really don't know what he's looking like, how he's going to take a hit. So I'm going with Earl because I know he has a lot more volume than Danny, as I stated earlier. He is fundamentally sound. I have to give him that. He doesn't really, and he sticks with his game plan. So his fundamentals are really great, and also Danny is just Danny's a great counterpuncher. He's tough, but he's just slow. His feet are slow. He went off. Maybe he'll come back in.
Yeah, yeah, no, I got it. He got the link. I'm sure something happened to his phone there for a minute. We'll give him a few minutes for sure. No, but look, yeah, D Calico, he comes on the show with me on other shows. He's a good brother. He loves boxing, but more into the old
Yeah,
school
yeah,
boxing.
yeah.
He like the old school boxing because he come from
Yeah,
that era.
me too. I like the old school boxing.
That's why you like
But
the Tyson and Roy Jones event. It gave you that
yeah,
feeling of
yeah,
the
yeah.
old days.
Yeah, I like the old school boxing better because the guys today they don't fight as much and you know, it's they just fight like twice a year maybe, so it's not really a lot of fights. Other than like Navarrete, he's been fighting a lot. He might have had 5 fights. That's like really great, you know.
No, for
And
sure.
yeah,
No, for sure. And one thing I will say, right, it's been a great event. It's been a great weekend for boxing. At the end of the day, we bring the older generation out. We had the younger generation involved with the older generation. We mixed it, blend it. They put Jake Paul in there, who's got a big following. They mixed that in there nicely with a nice bit of, all the other viewers who don't normally watch boxing. So they made something out of it, and they made a great show out of it. And just
right,
salute that, really. Tyson is the one who started it. He said he was going to do it, and he just did it. A lot of people said they were going to do something like this, but they didn't do it. So you can only salute Mike Tyson and, appreciate what he's done as an event. But, like I said, we're so interested in this week. I was just wanting to talk to Calico with the way that he said that, Errol Spence is going to basically put either a stop to Danny Garcia or he's going to, make Danny Garcia in a, like he said, it will be his worst loss. I would have loved
right.
him to elaborate on that. I don't know where, I think his phone died. I don't know what happened to his
I
phone.
think he, I think he did say by volume, so he got a good point there. And if Earl stops him in that manner, that will be a statement because the man has lost, but his losses were really close, like split decisions or stuff like that. So if he does that, that's a statement.
I mean, if he does that, he goes up in my pound for
No,
pound.
I mean if he stops him, like
Yeah,
because
if
he's
he
never
stops
been
Danny,
stopped. Yeah, that would be a statement.
I'll even put him ahead in my pound for pound list.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. He would go
Um,
up.
I've never,
He's already in the pound for pound. He's a pound for pound fighter. Yeah.
yeah, but I never ever. I mean, I'd have to think about putting him up if he stops Danny. I've never seen another boxer ever put Danny in a position where he ever looked like he was going to be stopped. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I've seen Danny in 140 fighting some fighters when they were in their prime. Danny, even when he fought at 147, when he fought Keith Thurman, when Keith Thurman was more in his prime, and the Sean Porter, they couldn't stop him. He was in those fights. Some people had
Yeah.
him swinging some of those rounds in that fight. The rounds they were giving it to either Danny Garcia, but the other fighter got it. So I never seen anybody put Danny Garcia in a position where he looked like he gonna get hurt or he's gonna get taken out. I ain't seen it.
Right.
So if Errol Spence, or they call him Earl, they call him Earl because in England we say Errol. What you call him, Earl?
It's Errol,
It's
but you
Errol.
gotta understand the South. They have the Southerners. They have a different accent. I say Earl, like Errol Flynn,
Right. So
but the
Earl.
South they have a thick accent. I'm from up north. I'm so I don't have that accent.
Right. I gotcha.
They have a drawl, especially the Texans. They have a heavy drawl.
So what do they call him? Earl. Earl Spence.
Earl.
Earl Spence Jr.
It almost sounds like Earl.
Earl Spence Jr. Right?
Yeah, it's just the pronunciations. I
Man,
mean, it's how they enunciate it. It's just different. Like
Earl.
because like I said, because where you from, your accent. Like I'm from up north, so my accent is different than theirs.
Yeah.
In Texas is the South, but it's like it's not even it's not like the East Coast South either. It's like it's a big state. It's the biggest state in the U.S.
What, Texas is the biggest state, yeah?
Yeah, and then California is the second biggest state.
I thought it was Cali, but
California is
okay.
long, huh?
Okay.
But Texas is really wide and it's huge.
Hey, you know what? Texas is doing it for boxing for us over here in England. If it weren't for
Oh
Texas,
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
won't
It's a
be
big.
getting these fights. So salute to Texas, man. I'll tell you that
Yeah,
much.
definitely.
And Texas has been hosting these events. Texas hosts the what's it called, Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz event in San Antonio. Texas
Yeah.
doing the Danny Garcia and Errol Spence, and Texas is
Oh
also
yeah.
doing Callum Smith and Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah. A lot of people coming out. Yeah.
So it's time for Texas. Put your hands up for Texas, man. They're doing it for boxing. They're doing it for boxing around the world. And I'm excited for this week. I hope everybody's excited. I hope the chat's excited. Danny Garcia, Errol Spence Jr. It's gonna be a big one, and it's on welterweight. And here we go. It's fireworks. And I'll tell you why it's bigger than big. We never seen a boxer where his Ferrari has gone 4 or 5 times up and down, and the man looks like he don't even made it. It looks like the whoever's in that car looks like they were sleeping. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it was God bless. I mean, we've never seen
Yeah.
a
God bless him. Yeah.
God bless him, because boy, they would have said that a lot of people would have died if that happened to you. So I gotta
Yeah.
just salute that. I gotta respect that. And boy, God blessed him, man. And at the end of the day, he's here to make another defense of his world title, WBC welterweight
Absolutely.
title. And here we go, Errol Spence coming back. You know
Yeah.
what I
He
mean?
coming
Errol
back
Spence.
strong too.
And listen, he's also got the IBF title. He got the IBF
Yeah. Yeah. He's
and
a
the
unified
WBC.
champion. Yeah.
Yeah, so he the unified title defense for Spence. And that's from Joe DC. You know what? I gotta tell you, we're excited, Lisa. I hope you're excited. The fights this weekend. You're gonna have a
Yeah.
nice
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
showdown this week. You're gonna get a weigh-in. You're gonna get the face-off. Danny Garcia, Errol Spence. But Errol's coming back from a like I said, 9 out of 10 people, or even they said a huge amount of percentages of people, if they would have landed wrong in certain way in their head or in an injury, they would have been dead. You remember what happened to Paul Walker, the guy who
Yeah.
used to be in Fast and Furious? He was in
Yeah.
a
I
Porsche,
remember.
and the man who was driving the car just lit up in flames,
Yeah.
and he ended up dead.
Yeah. I remember that.
So, like I said, Errol Spence, man, he's been touched by God. He's been blessed by
Yeah.
God, and
Yeah. God got another plan for Earl.
facts, man. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
people would never ever have made what Errol Spence Jr.'s made in his life, where he's come from. You know what I mean? So God bless
Yeah.
the guy, and he's coming back to defend it, and that's why it's bigger than anything, is because the man come out of life and death, and now he's fighting one of the good top guys in the welterweight. And this guy's not a guy to be played with. Danny Garcia has shown that he can fight. He might not have won, but he's shown he can fight, and he's shown that he's never shown you any weaknesses when he's lost. He didn't lose where he got totally dominated. He lost some of the rounds, but he also won some of those rounds. You know,
Right.
so it's a big fight for us. I can't wait for the. There's also something on YouTube. Everybody can watch it. It's an episode. Danny Garcia, Errol Spence. There's episodes on PBC. Um,
Oh, okay. I gotta check them out.
Yeah, there's episodes 1, 2, and 3. They're great episodes. They're about Danny Garcia, Errol Spence behind the scenes. So you guys need to watch that. It's all online. But
Right.
apart from that, thanks for joining Rapstar. Lisa, thanks for coming through. Actually, we appreciate your knowledge, so we can share it with some of our channel and put it across the world.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Always, Lisa. Thanks for coming through,
Yeah, I'm gonna
man.
go check them out now.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the last episode right now too. Errol Spence, Danny Garcia episodes on YouTube. I think part three's out, and let's get ready for this week. This week's showdown's here now. Danny Garcia, Errol Spence. We're here this week in Texas. Oh yeah, Lisa, thanks for coming through. You can let everybody know, or you don't have a channel, right?
No.
Okay, so you don't have a channel, but you know what? Thanks for coming through. I'm gonna end the show right now, and I'm gonna catch everybody soon.
All right. Take care,
Thanks.
Rapstar. Thanks for
And
having me.
always, Lisa. Thanks for coming through.